Good mugging morning, people. This is it. The first day of the rest of our lives, and it is a beauty out there. I'm looking straight out this beautiful window. It's a little bit dark, but we're shining the light, so no worries about that. Anyways, I'm just going to kick off today by sharing a story that I was reading from this awesome book called The Rhythm of Life. And I think it just applies to us, the agents of the light. And it's just so perfectly the way it was written. But I'm going to read a little bit from the book itself. But basically, there was a dude, right? And he was super good looking guy, green eyes, dark black hair, and everyone in the town loved him. The women were running after him. His parents were proud of him. Everyone relied on him and believed in him. And he actually joined the army, and he was an amazing soldier. And he was literally the man. One day he was on his horse and he got dragged by his horse. He fell off, but his foot was still hooked into the saddle. And he was dragged by the horse and he got dropped off by this lake, and it was during the night. He looked up at the sky and he had this awakening moment, and he fell into a deeper state of realization and this epiphany that he's been living his life upholding this image and trying to get validation from everyone. And he had so much pressure on him to perform and to be the person everybody wanted him to be. And he wanted to just let go of that. When he looked into that night sky and he looked at the stars, he felt a deeper sense of who he really was. He looked at the light coming from the stars and he realizes that he has that same light within him. He has the light of the Creator within him. And so he devoted his life to being the light instead of being the image. And everyone was really sad. They were mourning him. And, they really wanted the old guy back, but he knew deep inside that he had a deeper calling to be the light. Not the image, but the light. So I'll read the last paragraph. This man lived the rest of his life being a glory of God, a glory to the God who had emerged in him. He sang of the glory of life and tried to educate people, not in doctrine, but in the simplicity of knowledge. He lived no hypocrisies, but was devoted only to God. He became hated and despised because he tried to shine in the darkness while other people guarded the light switch. And then he ends off by saying, this is a true story. This dashing young man was Francis of Assisi. Now, I'm not sure who that was. Pretty sure he was some sort of Christian sage, but the point stands that he woke up to the light within him, and he gave up, he let go of being an image, of looking out at the world and thinking about how everyone sees him. And I would take it a step deeper, that he stopped looking out there from God, but he started looking from inside as God. He started being the light. And I love how he says how while others guarded the light switch, hey, people out there are doing what they do. Most of them are doing what they do because they just don't know better. But we know better. The agents of the light, the mugging movement knows better. We are the light towers of the world. We're the candles, the lanterns. And it's our job to shine the light, be the light, and don't be the image. Don't try to be something. When you go a step deeper and you realize you already are what you need to be, move from that place. That's what I call a movement, all right? So that was just something that hit me today. I wanted to share that. I'm just shouting out to all you guys to also remember to set the temperature today. When you're being the light, when you're being from the inside out, you set the temperature. It doesn't matter what it looks like outside. It could be raining, shine, snow, sleet, hail, don't matter. You set the temperature. So set the temperature in your mindset, in your heart set, in your health set, and your soul set. Okay? All of these are different dials on the DJ board of your being that you could set today. Okay? Now I'm just also shouting out, just sending some light out there. Love, fulfillment, joy, intimacy, adventure, and laughter. Let's create some of that today, huh? How many people need some more of that in their lives? Let's be the generators of that. Generate some laughter, generate some love, generate some light, some health, some joy, okay? All right, now on to some business. I created an online community for the Mugging Inner Circle. Those are people who feel called to be agents of the light, people to join me in this mission of spreading light in the world through health, wealth, happiness, mental health, physical health, spiritual health, the Mugging, Moach Guf Neshama, the mind, body, soul lifestyle. We're all here spreading different parts, different angles of the same thing, and it's all pointing back to the light, right? The gold in the shield is the light. So we are agents of the light, and we're here to spread light in any way that we can. So again, I love to do it through fitness and drums. You might love to do it in another way, and that's awesome. Power to you. Keep spreading it, all right? Now, I designed a community, an online community, where we could all kind of gather and discuss how we're spreading light, how we could support each other, how we could come together and celebrate life together. So I'm going to leave the link to that community in the description. You could join there. You got to just put in your information. You'll be logged on to the thing, and then you can be in the chat. And when we get 6 people, we're going to create a Zoom call, and we're all going to talk together, and we'll get this thing moving even further. All right? Now, if you think it's a better idea to make a WhatsApp chat, put that in the comments, or you can email me. I'll put the email in the description too. So here we are. We're creating the movement. This is a movement of light in any way possible. Now, a lot of us who are on this mission to spread light, we face a lot of obstacles on the way, whether that's money, people around us, things not working out. It's endless. There's a lot of things trying to block the light from being in this world. And that's part of the game, you know. We're here to play with that. It's not a problem. It's a challenge. It's another obstacle on this playground we call Earth, okay? One of the things that we can actually utilize is taught to us through the Parsha. Today's reading in the Parsha talks about Avram talking to God and bargaining with God to save the city of Sodom. He was talking about, if there's 50 people, 50 righteous people, will you destroy it? And God's like, no, if there's 50, we'll be good. And he's like, how about 45? He's like, yeah, 45 is fine. It was like, how about 30? How about 35, 20? He was literally bargaining him down like it's the shook, right? So he's talking to God, and God's like, yeah, sure. You know, he was actually going together with him, and he actually brought it down. I think he brought it down to 10. And he's like, yeah, if there's 10, I maybe even brought it down to 5. But the point there is just really interesting, is that this human being is bargaining with God. And that's a very interesting dynamic right there. I mean, according to our deeper understanding of God, that we are God, we have a spark of God within us. So it's in a way, it was like almost like Avram was bargaining with this spark within him, bargaining with this higher self. But let's just talk about God as if God was the one in the story who would be destroying the world, or Sodom. So Avram is bargaining with God. We see that there's a capacity for a human being to bargain with God. It's God's co-creating. We're co-creators in this world. And God wants to have that relationship with us, whether it's through that spark within us or seeing God in nature. I think it's 2 sides of the same coin. But the point is that we actually have a say in the matter. I'll say that again. We actually have a say in the matter of creation. That means that we could actually talk to God and reason with him and bargain with God to be like, hey, I need this and this. Please get this obstacle out of my way. I'm trying to fulfill this, and this. And someone once told me that God's answer is always yes. It might not be yes right now. It could be yes later. But when you demand something of God, when you bargain with God for the sake of spreading his light in the world, the light of goodness in the world, God says yes. God's in for the game. God is in for the conversation. So don't let God out of those parts of your life. The obstacles is actually where you got to bring the Creator mostly in, and you're being like, we're co-creating this. And you could also turn it on yourself and ask yourself, how am I creating this? How am I causing this obstacle to show up in my life? And you could take responsibility for that. And in a way, that's kind of you becoming the co-creator. You're becoming the actual person who's causing the matter of what's going on in your life. So now we're not playing the blame game, and we're not playing the, oh, poor me, sorry, I got a flat tire. I couldn't make it to that mission that I was on. No. Obstacles are part of the game. And we're here to bargain with God. We're here to co-create with God. So we're here being like, hey, Creator, I'm trying to spread your light in the world. I'm trying to bring more godliness into this earth. Help me out here, you know what I mean? Throw me a bone. You know what I'm saying? And then we stay open to that. And we stay open to the yes. And we know in our being that it's a yes. And then we act according. We act as if the yes already happened. And then we start to see miracles in our life. All right? So I'm blessing us all to keep spreading the light today. Be the light. And don't be afraid of the obstacles, but plow right through them. Jump over them with God. Bring God into the obstacle. And bring him into the conversation. Because that's what it's all about. God is good, orderly direction. We're here to spread good in the world. And it starts with us. Blessing you all with a day of light. With a day of love. First with self-love. And remember that story. Don't worry about the image. Don't worry about how people see you or how you look. But worry about how you look. How are you seeing the world? How are you shining your light out? When you become the light, your self-consciousness dissolves. And that's 99% of problems right there. Remember, today is the only day that exists. So bless up. Celebrate life. Because this is it.